Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa. Great segment to wrap up today because an incredibly serious issue across Canada and, of course, right here in Ottawa, and that is the amount of people that find themselves homeless. And the Alliance to End Homelessness in Ottawa is a wonderful initiative, a great group of people who are really reaching out not only just to city councillors, but, of course, to city candidates. We'll tell you about the campaign in just a moment. And by we, I mean Kaite Burkholder Harris, because she's the executive director of Alliance to End Homelessness in Ottawa. Kaite, welcome to the show. And let's first of all talk about how that alliance came together and who makes up that alliance.
So I always like to call the Alliance small but mighty. We're a pretty small staff team, but we're mighty because we represent about 70 member agencies across the city of Ottawa. So all of those folks have been doing the hard work of supporting people experiencing homelessness for really the last 25 years. That's how long we've been around. But now we're a group that's got a few more staff, which is really nice. And we really want to take on kind of those big picture advocacy initiatives focused on ending homelessness, and especially because it is possible. And we have community examples across Canada, across the world, where they're seeing real reductions in homelessness. So it's exciting to be a part of that work in Ottawa.
Well, maybe you can share then, Kaite, some of those solutions that you have seen that have worked across the country. What do some of those look like exactly?
Yeah, so I mean, I think we're all doing bits and pieces of it, but a huge focus on prevention is something that you see in communities that see real reductions. So, Waterloo actually has seen some really significant family homelessness reduced because they've really focused on how do we keep you in your home if you're about to lose your home? What can we do, whether it's evictions arrears or supporting a family more? And they've seen some really great progress there. There's some communities like London, which have seen basically they've reached a point of chronic or functional zero for people who are chronic veterans. So that basically means that they can rehouse somebody quite quickly if they do become homeless, and they don't have people staying in the shelter for a really long time. And the
Right.
big example I always use is Edmonton, 43% reduction in overall homelessness over the last, I think, since 2008. And it's because of
Wow.
really focusing on prevention, coordinating the sector as best as possible, and using data to really drive that work.
Yeah, and if you look at the housing market, it's just been absolutely insane. I mean, I've never seen, of course, anything like it. I'm sure you haven't either, Katie. What about the loss of affordable housing? What have we seen here in Ottawa?
Yeah, so that's a lot of what this campaign is about. Starts with Home is focusing on the housing market and what we need to do to make sure there's affordable housing for everybody. So in Ottawa, we actually lose 7 affordable units in the private market for every one purpose built affordable rental. So we're losing way faster than we can possibly build. So we've talked a
Right.
lot about trying to keep existing rentals and really focusing on tenant protections and making sure that people can stay in a good quality unit rather than maybe being pushed out because they pay less money for their rent and try and be able to have a chance to stay stable in their housing.
Yeah, and some of the things that are linked to that loss of affordable housing, Katie, is what we, now have termed those rent evictions and those demo evictions. For those people that aren't familiar, maybe you can describe those situations.
Yeah, and I think we've seen an increase just because the market's bananas right now. Like we all know
Mhm.
how insane housing is in terms of the cost. So right now, landlords are in a situation where maybe they have some maintenance that needs to be done, and they look at the market and they say, actually, it's going to be better financially for me to actually sell the building, have tenants move out, and it'll go to potentially someone who might have more money to pay for higher level tenants. So it's that sort of thing that we're seeing and hearing more about. And we've actually tried to get a survey out looking at what that is looking like across Ontario because we hear more advocates and people talking about it and seeing it anecdotally, but we need better data on how that's happening in Ontario.
Katie, I've just got 30 seconds left. Just quickly for viewers at home that want to help with this campaign, where can they go?
Yeah, so it's www.startswithhome.ca. It's a local campaign really to ask our next city council to really focus on affordable housing and make it a key priority for our community.
Yeah, and that includes putting in some money. I told you I just couldn't believe the amount that 17 million in a budget the size of Ottawa is just unbelievably low. Katie, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it, and of course, thanks to all of you at home for watching. We'll see you next time.